Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Hi, I'm Ray Hagar with the Reno Gazette-Journal, and welcome to another edition of Nevada Newsmakers. Did you know that Nevada has become a haven for sex offenders trying to escape the law from other states? Jim Denton has the rundown.
Ray, this morning with us is George Tagliati, the director of the Nevada Department of Public Safety, and Donna Coleman from the Children Advocacy Alliance.
Coming up on today's Pundit panel, we have Dan Mason, Harry York, and Marlene Lockhart. That's coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
This is one of Sierra Power's main generating plants. It's right next door to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center. These plants provide all the clean, reliable power that businesses need. TRI has 3 independent power generation facilities on site. For sensitive manufacturing companies and high-tech firms, this benefit is invaluable. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
Since its creation more than a decade ago, the Southern Nevada Water Authority has focused on 3 goals: preserving water quality, improving water conservation in Southern Nevada, and meeting the community's current and future water needs. Through thoughtful planning, responsible management, and collaboration, it's succeeding. As we move into the 21st century, the authority continues to embrace sustainable water development and efficient water use. That's our promise to Nevada.
So, who do you use for workers' comp?
Pro Group Management.
Ah, I've heard some good things about them.
Oh, you bet. Employee background checks, safety training, claim seminars. Oh, and here's the great part. If you have an issue, they work for you, not against you.
Sounds perfect. And expensive.
Well, that's the best part. They saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
Works for me. Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
Thanks to an ongoing commitment by America's mining companies, more than 2 million acres already have been reclaimed. To learn more about reclamation or other aspects of mining, visit nma.org, the National Mining Association.
You are watching Nevada Newsmakers.
Okay, joining us today are Donna Coleman and George Tagliati. Welcome to the show
Good
today.
morning.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
coming in.
Thanks for having us.
George, let me ask you a question. Recent investigative reports in the Reno Gazette-Journal have discovered that Nevada has literally become a haven for sex offenders that are escaping the law from other jurisdictions, and they're dangerous people. Why are they coming here?
Well, I don't know as we'd qualify it as a haven or necessarily running away from the law. I think there is a misconception of our status, if you will, here in Nevada. We have, I'd like to look at it just maybe 3 categories. One of those that are under the supervision of parole and probation within the state, those that committed crimes in the state. Those that may have come from other states who come in what they call a compact, which is an agreement from another state. They have relatives here, they have work here, whatever, and it's legitimate and they're transferred here. Then there's a whole other group that may have committed crimes in other states that just feel that they want to come to Nevada. And it is a free country, and if they're not under any kind of restraint of probation or parole restrictions, they just come here, and they're supposed to register, but there's nothing in place that says they have to register or there are any controls in that particular area, and therein lies the problem.
But aren't there more than 2,000 unregistered sex offenders in our state as we speak?
I think that's a guesstimate. There may be more than that.
More.
Sometimes I like to tease by the fact that just some of the lifestyles we have here, as far as what happens here stays here, we tend to attract people more in Nevada than possibly they would somewhere in Iowa or Kansas. It's not to say they don't have their own set of problems, but when I was with the FBI, we had an incredible amount of fugitives captured, particularly in the Las Vegas area. A disproportionate amount to any other city in the United States, because I think people think they can hide here and get some anonymity.
But if you look at this recent case in Florida, and Donna, I'll address this question to you. You know, my heart really goes out for this woman who lost her daughter. I mean, she's a single parent. She was dating this guy. You know, Lord only imagine how she feels. But, you know, how do these single parents know? How are they supposed to find out that somebody's a sex offender that's living down the street? I mean,
well, you know, parents have a responsibility to do a few things. I mean, the law enforcement has a responsibility as well. But as a parent, you should know who you're associating with. We do have those tools. Florida happens to have a very good sex offender registry. And I believe that the person that she was dating was a registered sex offender on that registry.
well, like I said, you know, you're right about that, but the fact of the matter is you can't find out if they're not registered.
Well, if they're not registered, they're all, they should be registered when they're released from prison. That's what we'd really like to see, that every sex offender, actually before they're released from prison, is registered, and then that we have a nationwide sex offender registry, so you could actually put a name in and see where that person comes up.
But in Nevada, registration by sex offenders, isn't it like voluntary?
No,
it has to be voluntary?
they are responsible for their own compliance, but it's not a voluntary thing.
I know, but they're responsible.
It's a felony not to register.
But the onus is on the sex offender to register.
Absolutely, and that's a crazy system because they're not exactly your most stellar citizens.
Exactly.
So that's why we have a bill.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's crazy. So that's why SB 341 is going to make, we can tighten it. We're going to ask for the sex offenders to have to renew their driver's license every year.
This makes about as much sense as having drug dealers pay taxes. I mean, that's a crazy system.
Well, SB
no wonder you have 2,000 people that haven't registered.
Well, also, too, in Nevada, is that the law enforcement that deals with sex offenders, it's like Barney Fife against the world, isn't it? George, there's just not many people that do this.
You had to use Barney Fife?
Well, it just came out. I was thinking of the one bullet.
Think about it. What crime has been committed, and who are the people we're looking for? You have an undetermined amount of folks that come here that have had problems in the past, as far as being sex offenders, that maybe came out of prison or were put on probation. There's no signs that say this is where the person is. So I think it's unfair to look at law enforcement and say, hey, how come you guys are not doing this, this, and this? Again, what we want to do is try to institute a policy of one-year driver's license. Now somebody's riding around with an expired driver's license. We have a way of querying who they are and now finding out who they are, so on and so forth. Every year they have to come in, let us know where they live, and so on. Same thing with the gaming card, to get people to go in the gaming business, to be able to say, I am registered, people know where I am, and so on and so forth. But you can't, that's too much of a burden on law enforcement to say, we have to check every person that comes into the state. It's impossible.
I know it's a burden, but you don't have enough people that could even do this job.
No.
You couldn't do it.
Quickly, I want to ask Donna a question. In this category of crime, and we're almost out of time, so it has to be a short answer. In this category of crime, it has one of the highest recidivism rates in any category. Why is that?
Well, first of all, we're really not sure what the recidivism rate is because it's a highly unreported crime. We do know one thing, that according to statistics, the average sex offenders committed 110 offenses by the time they're caught.
Okay, Donna, let's wrap it right there. We'll be right back after this message with more with George and Donna.
For a videotape copy of any Nevada Newsmakers program, call 775-857-2244. The tapes are $20 each, including shipping.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Reno
Reno's best dining values are all at one casino, the Pepper Mill. You can enjoy great savings on our popular specials. Pepper Mill's coffee shop offers daily lunch specials, low-carb dining, and all your favorite comfort foods. You'll find sensational lunch specials featuring Reno's freshest seafood, sushi, pasta, and more at Oceano. And early bird specials at Reno's Premier Steakhouse and Romanza Ristorante Italiano. The best values are at the Pepper Mill. Where are you dining?
Your best value in sight is here for you to see. From frames to lenses to eye exams, you're covered A to Z. Davis Optical, your best value in sight.
Davis Optical Centers, with 2 locations in Reno and Sparks.
Davis Optical, your best value in sight.
When you need a new employee, how can you be sure who you're really hiring? A background investigation by Employer Links will uncover criminal records, verify the applicant's education, check their credit history and Social Security verification. An investigation will research professional licenses and driver's licenses and let you know why they're unemployed. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers.
Okay, we're back today with George Togliatti and Donna Coleman. You want to talk about SB 341, co-sponsored by Bill Raggio and Dina Titus, who is running for governor, by the way.
Well, George and I have been working on that bill from day one. We looked at the website and how we can improve it, and we fashioned out the amendments that are currently in the bill to add addresses on. I know we definitely need addresses on the website.
Donna, what is the website, first of all?
It's www.nvsexoffenders.gov.
And right now, they only have zip codes where they live.
They only have zip codes. And we, like for instance, in Sparks, Nevada, we know there's an offender who offended in 1979, raped a 7-year-old boy in a restroom. He's now out. He also offended in 83, in 86, in 2000. He's considered a Tier 3 offender, which is very dangerous. He is registered. He is on the website, but we don't know where he lives in Sparks. All we have is a zip code.
Okay, now Jeannie Orenshall also has a bill that if you fail to register twice, mandatory prison.
Ray, I got to tell you, I disagree with that. What is this twice thing?
Yeah.
Okay. It is a felony, as George pointed out. It is a felony to not register.
So you want
this get out of jail free card? Absolutely.
Okay.
And these people are dangerous. These people are dangerous to children. I mean, this is not a tough call at all.
And the U.S. Supreme Court has given us the authority. They told us it's a public safety issue. So that's been challenged all the way through the Supreme Court. So that's not even an issue anymore as far as their rights or, punitive or additional punishment. This is part of the deal. You offend on a child, you offend us in a sexual criminal way, you are now going to be on a website when you get out of prison.
Okay, let me
and
take
you can access that website through the state website or from the Department of Public Safety website, and just click, and you'll get you to the sex offender website.
Okay.
And then you can query by right now zip code or name of person.
All right.
So people can put in their zip code and see the list that comes up. It's kind of scary.
I did that the other day, by the way. I did that the other day.
And our problem is, mainly from law enforcement, we don't know where a lot of them are. And that's what we're worried about.
And there's 35,000 missing in California. They could very well be living here.
I was very surprised because I live in an upscale area of Henderson. And I put in our zip code, and I came up with 14 people in that zip code that were registered sex offenders. I was very surprised by that, as you and I talked about the other day.
And there's a Tier 3 level sex offender in Henderson that lives 6 feet from a daycare center, and he offended on a 6-year-old.
Donna, excuse me, can you explain Nevada's tier system?
We have 4 tiers, Tier 0, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. In Nevada, we only place the Tier 2 and Tier 3 offenders on the website. Tier 2 considered likely to reoffend, Tier 3 considered most likely to reoffend with violence. The way they get on the tier system is when they're released from prison, they tier rate them according to points. So the higher the points, meaning multiple crimes and violence, the higher the tier system. So when the legislators get emails from people that are on the website saying, I don't think it's fair, I'm on the website, keep in mind these people are violent offenders or multiple offenses.
George, Florida has far more strict laws concerning sex offenders than Nevada does, correct?
For the most part, certainly their website has more information than our website.
And yet the recent news has shown that they've had
I think this, again,
problems there.
it triggers the most important point is parental involvement, parental concern. You know, people just have to, we can offer websites and try to inform the community, but it's the first line of defense of the parents.
But, you know, we had tougher sentencing laws here. If Cooey had been in Nevada, he'd still be in prison right now. He was out. I mean, it would take, for what he was offended, what he went to prison for in Florida, he would have been a minimum of 10 years in Nevada. So that's a problem. And their parole and probation, they didn't know he was a sex offender because the courts they didn't tell them.
I was struck by the fact when I looked at the website that of those 14 people that I just referred to, every single one of them had multiple offenses.
Right, that's because that's why they're on the website, Tier 2 and Tier 3.
Okay, now, is there a possibility, though, let me take this from another angle, that these tougher laws against sex offenders could lead to vigilantism? Because what right should we afford sex offenders?
No rights.
I don't think there's any information that indicates that there has been any vigilantism based on the information on the websites, because states vary. I don't think Florida's had that situation, and they certainly put more information up.
Donna, you said
they give up their rights. When you offend, you give up your rights. I mean, we're going to start protecting them. The pendulum's got to start swinging back the other way.
I agree with I agree with Donna. I mean, when you're talking about what you're talking about violating the rights of children.
The most vulnerable citizens.
That is absolutely.
The most vulnerable
I totally
citizens.
agree
We
with
have
you.
to protect them. And in Nevada, if you keep clean for 10 years, you can get your picture taken off the website. So there is a carrot and a stick out there.
All right. We need to end it right here. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I think this is a very important issue. We'll be right back after this with our all-star pundit panel. Stay tuned, please.
This is Nevada Newsmakers. Something spectacular has taken wing not far from Reno or Lake Tahoe, and never far from your mind. An escape of fine dining and legendary golf. Introducing the resort at Red Hawk. And at the center of it all, we've feathered our nest with new villas that have elevated Red Hawk to the status of a premier resort. The resort at Red Hawk, a beautiful new arrival in northern Nevada.
I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seemed to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? Yeah, they do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
If it's fun, it's here at the Peppermill, the $100,000 video-themed slot celebration, with more winners each week, 100 random winners every Monday and Wednesday, and more cash prizes. $6,000 random drawings every Friday, plus chances to win up to $1,000 in free slot play on Mr. Money's Challenge. You'll have more fun with the Peppermill's video-themed slot celebration, now worth over $100,000.
The slots that rock are at the Peppermill. Where are you winning?
Many of the materials we rely on every day come from the ground, and modern mining technology brings them to us cleaner and safer than ever before. To learn more about America's natural resources, visit nma.org, the National Mining Association.
You are watching Nevada Newsmakers.
All right, welcome back to our pundit panel, folks. Today we have Harry York, the CEO of the Reno Sparks Chamber of Commerce, And then we have Dan Mason. He's the program director of News Talk 780 KOH Radio.
Greetings.
Welcome to you today, folks.
Which means anything that you do not like that you hear on KOH, this is the guy to call.
That's the guy to
right?
call.
Sure. Okay. We'll call all the time.
Okay, I have a question for everyone. You know, I learned this morning, you learn all kinds of interesting things listening to KOH and listening to KRNB News in the morning, Channel 4 News in the morning. Now, here's my question. Inc. magazine, just today, as a matter of fact, yesterday, ranked Nevada #1 in the nation.
No, Reno.
Reno, Nevada, as the top place in the nation to do business.
That's right.
And yet,
means we've been doing our job.
Yeah, it does. And yet, a federal study gave us a D- in our transportation systems stoplights in Reno and Sparks. Yeah.
Oh, I'm Never heard that one.
Yeah. D-. So I guess what that says.
Does that mean you had to wait more than one time at a signal?
No, I guess what that means is that it's a great place to do business as long as you don't have to drive to get there.
Well, I don't know. A D- might be an upgrade, if you thought of it that way.
Well, yeah, but you know, the thing is...
you know what? I don't think that's important.
You don't think that's important?
Not at all.
You must not drive much.
I drive a lot, and I think people come here because they don't have to wait in long signals, and you can get anywhere still in 15 or 20 minutes, even though the boundaries have expanded substantially beyond the old area. We used to say we could get anywhere in 15 minutes.
Well, how did Reno, you know, for a couple of years, everyone wrote Reno, Nevada off. Gaming was going to go away because of Indian gaming. All kinds of other terrible things were going to happen. It was all going to move to southern Nevada.
It's a great place to live, raise your family, do business. It's a business-friendly area. It's a business-friendly state, and that's why people are looking to move here.
Well, Harry, let me ask you this. 2 years ago, a lot of local business people were pulling their hair out over this record tax increase that the state passed and predicted all sorts of woeful things in the future for business, but that's never occurred yet, has it?
Well, but remember, we cut that in half as to what the governor was proposing with the gross receipts, which would have been negative. No question, that would have had a very chilling effect on the economy. And he had the gross receipts and tripling the VAT tax, and we brought that all back to the business employee tax, and it's not as bad as it was.
But we got the taxes, but we didn't get it through gross receipts, and maybe that was a saving grace.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I want to go back to the stoplights for a minute. Why is it so hard? Why is it so?
There's important things going on in this state. Why would we worry about a stoplight?
Because I'm tired
of some dumb federal study.
Because I've heard about it for 30 years, and it's been an issue in this community for 30 years.
That they're not synchronized.
Dan, why is it that that's a problem?
Well, I can speak for myself as, I'm a highly aggravated driver just as a general rule. I think there's a lot of stupid people on the roads who don't know what they're doing. And the stoplights really don't help a lot.
Which is why I let my wife drive.
They just seem so completely random. And if you're driving a couple of miles down McCarran and you hit every light, I'm sorry, it's aggravating. And yeah, it's probably a little thing to be aggravated about, but that's what people do.
Yeah, but I was really encouraged. I have to tell you, Harry, I was really encouraged by the Inc. magazine story, because it shows that this is a very vibrant business community, and it's a good place to do business.
It is. And that's a great magazine to have it in. It's recognized, in a good business magazine. It just shows that we've been doing a lot of right things. We've elected the right people over the last few years, and there's just a great atmosphere. So I would agree. We set out to do this, and people have worked very hard to make sure we got to this point. So it's kind of gratifying that, yes, it's worked.
Yeah, but your radio station's done a lot to promote this area, too, and the reach of your radio station, as I remember from the old days, can be heard on the beach of Waikiki at night under the right circumstances. I get interesting contact from people all over the place. But yeah, our night signal gets the entire West Coast, so that's a good thing. And those are some of our feeder markets, too. So I'd like to think it's helped. You're very kind to say that.
Okay, let me change the subject here. Yesterday in the legislature, there was discussion about funding starting the fund to bring the 2014 Winter Olympics to the Reno Tahoe area.
Correct.
Harry, what do you think? Do you think we'll get these games?
Well, we were part of that. If we don't get them in 14, I think we'll get them in 18. So what we're looking at is the next Winter Games in the continental United States.
The impact. Talk about the impact of this. When they came in 60, they were here in 1960. It was the
And we still talk about it.
Yeah, it was a key thing that brought that brought development to Lake Tahoe.
they're just a great positive impact. If we can get named a designated city from the U.S., then we can use the rings on everything. And I think it totally increases our credibility. Plus, then you start to do international events, because before you can actually do the international games, you have to prove that you can do international events. Not necessarily winter games. I mean, you could do arm wrestling, you could do an international volleyball tournament, anything like that that's international.
Where's the money going to come from? On the outside chance that we got the winter games, where's the money going to come from?
I think there's a great chance.
Well, half the build everything from a toboggan to a ski run to all the other things.
Well, a whole lot of the infrastructure's there.
It's there.
And we have more housing, more rooms available than Salt Lake City did when they ended. A lot of the funding is reprioritization of some federal stuff, like any of the airport improvements, highway improvements like the I-80.
And stoplights.
Stoplights, exactly.
Yeah, they need to fix the stoplights, so we're going to have the Olympics.
If they're on a schedule, then what happens, you get them moved up. And that's what happened in Salt Lake City. They got all those things moved up. And then I'm not exactly sure how they did some kind of local.
I do.
Okay, Jim, excuse me, we got to cut it off right there. I'm sorry about that. We'll be right back after this, folks. We got to show you a commercial and make some money.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
This is one of Sierra Power's main generating plants. It's right next door to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center. These plants provide all the clean, reliable power that businesses need. TRI has 3 independent power generation facilities on site. For sensitive manufacturing companies and high-tech firms, this benefit is invaluable. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
Your best value in sight is here for you to see. From frames to lenses to eye exams, you're covered A to Z. Davis Optical, your best value in sight.
Davis Optical Centers, with 2 locations in Reno and Sparks.
Davis Optical, your best value in sight.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years.
It really was a matter of confusion, and I also had the stress on my wife was considerable too, as she ran around talking to the right people and trying to track down resources that would improve my health and make me independent again.
One-stop access for caregivers, NevadaCareConnection.org.
Thanks for watching today. Next week, we got a couple of legislative heavyweights coming up. Number 1, we have Assemblywoman Sharon who is pushing this Prop 13 tax. And then we have Senate Majority Leader Big Bill Raggio coming on Tuesday. See you next week.